So it sounds very great the way you have managed your career, been in army, and what you talk about are all fun parts, but I know that army life is not fun. So you face life and death situations.
At any point in time, country comes first and always first. There is no second thought about it. So as officers, when we get commission, we take an oath. In that we say it's always, every time, your country comes first, the people whom you command comes next, the welfare of the men comes next, and your family and everything else comes last.
So army is primarily a very macho organization by nature, But how safe did you feel in a macho organization like army?
You need to believe in what you are doing, and are you respecting your boundary? Are you respecting yourself, your self-esteem? And are you ready to take a stand for yourself, whether it is the defense or whether it is corporate, whether it is wherever it is? Most importantly, are you ready to face the consequences by putting your foot down?
Okay, hello and welcome to #FemPower, a channel which brings to you interviews with women achievers, women leaders, and we try to unravel what it takes for women to achieve in this world. Today we have a special guest. Before I introduce her to you, let me tell you who I am. I'm Rajat. I'm a chartered accountant by profession and an author. I've written a book called Women, Beware of the Freaking Plot Hole. If you've not already read it, please go ahead, pick it up in Kindle and leave a review after you have read the book. Let me now introduce you to our guest. Our guest today is Major Pallavi Shivanna. She is a criminologist, a psychologist, so beware of her. She's also a army major, so she's a gun-toting criminologist, and she's today a thorough HR professional. And we are going to talk to her about her life. So, Major Pallavi, what should we call you?
So, hi, first of all, good evening, Rajat. Good evening, everyone who are actually listening to this conversation between me and you today. There are people who call me Pallavi. There are people who call me Major Pallavi. There are few corporate friends, they call me Major. So, suit yourself, whatever you feel, you can call me.
All right, Major. So, tell me a little about yourself.
Okay, so first and foremost, I'm not a criminologist or a psychologist. So I am basically a graduate in criminology, psychology, and sociology from Mysore University. I graduated way back in '96. Wow, another 2 more years, I'll complete 30 years of my graduation. So just to tell you what my background is, as I told you, I belong to a beautiful city called Mysore. Born, brought up, studied till my graduation there. And I'm the first graduate to get a degree in my family out of all my 4 siblings. Yeah, so I am today what I am because of my siblings, my parents, and their encouragement and their what do I say, unstinted, like I am not getting the right word, the amount of support and belief that they had in me. Unwavering, yes, thank you so much. Unwavering support and the trust and belief they had in me is what has got me today where I am today here. So, and after my graduation, I immediately, just felt like applying for the SSB to, instead of khaki, I was actually studying to don the khaki uniform to write my IPS exam. That's how criminology is there in my graduation. And then I just applied for the SSB, and that time, way back in '96, it was very, very new, '96, '97, very new for the society for women to join the Indian Army or the armed forces. So I applied and I just got a call letter to attend my SSB. And my family were all shocked, like, how did you decide? No, I just applied. I didn't even, take permission or anything. I just applied.
All
I
right.
just came back when I got my call letter. I told them, look, I've got a call letter to go to Allahabad city. From a city like Mysore, traveling all the way for 3.5 days to Allahabad, changing trains in between was quite a task. And my I just want to tell definitely this incident. I know way back in '96, for a single girl, young 21-year-old girl, to traveling from city like Mysore to Allahabad all by herself was not an easy thing. So still, my dad said, I'm coming along. He came till Bangalore. I said, from here, you will not come. I'll go all by myself. Tomorrow, what if I get selected? And then you will not be there always with me, right? So let me go. I mean, I am very sure that I'll face whatever happens. Let me face. So he came till Bangalore and he dropped me and, went back. And I was just myself when I attended the SSB interview. And I just was selected in part of the merit list. So, and that is how my journey of the uniform started. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I got commissioned in way back in '98, 98. So what happened? I was one of the first lady officer in that particular region of the unit to get the commission. So it was quite a thing, like the specimen, some lady officer has come to the unit for the first time. None of them knew how to handle or how to talk or how to even, do the induction in the corporate parlance. If I have to say the word induction, none of them knew how to do the induction for me. So, I mean, yeah, then finally I had a wonderful commanding officer. He said, you have come here as an officer and I will treat you like an officer. And that's how I believe also. And my motto has always been from my college days. I'm an individual first, then my gender comes next. So, and I still believe that. So he treated me like any other officer, early morning, 5 o'clock, getting up and going and sitting with my troops and seeing how are they actually, taking care of the vehicle. Basically, I was commissioned into the Army's supply chain and logistics arm of the Indian Army. So you need to know vehicles are like your bread and butter, and you need to hear the logistics. You're managing the logistics. So as an officer, you are not entered to sit in a jeep or a gypsy or a light vehicle unless you know what Shaktiman consists of. How does these vehicle functions? How does the stallion function? All these big vehicles. As a young officer, we were given big vehicles to commute within the cantonment, not the jeep or a gypsy.
Okay.
So that is how,
Okay.
yeah, it was just initially it used to feel like, okay, what is happening? But now when I look back, it feels like, wow, I used to sit in a lorry type of a vehicle and roam around in the cantonment.
You call
That's
it
a
tunnel, right?
nice,
You call it
yeah,
you call it a
2.5
tunnel
tunnel.
or something.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So Shaktiman, of course, it's not there anymore. That's got phased out way back in 99, 2000s itself. Later on, this Russian Stallion vehicle, 7.5 tonner and 2.5 tonner, all this vehicle came in. So that is how my learning ground started. So I used to be the only lady officer in that unit to begin with. And I just didn't know whom to look for, what to do. There's only one common toilet there. And it was quite a task. Like everybody were men, literally 500 men in that particular unit. There were 12 officers, and I was the only lady officer. And going to a toilet, even basic amenities were all centered around the male, this thing, capacity, because it's all male dominated. Suddenly, one lady officer coming to the unit, then you don't know how to, and how to do things. It's the same case with few of my other course-mates who got posted to such locations where they have never been lady officers. So yeah, so I have thanks to the army, I got grilled and toned and trained and mentored by wonderful people who have been my commanding officers. I really thank them so much. And whatever I am today, after being in the army for 9 years, traveling from lengths and breadths of the country, and what I am today here is because of the army's training. The army training, what we go through for 6 months, 9 months, or whatever, in whichever the institution, whether it is IMA, whether it is OTA, or whether it is NDA, that actually makes you so emotionally, mentally, and physically resilient. You can actually go through any situation in life. And that is what they actually, prepare you for. So you get prepared for life. Those 12 months, 9 months, and 6 months prepares you for the entire life. So you don't get easily, get bogged down. You don't give up easily on things in life. Yeah. So that is about my army journey. And of course, I've had my shares of ups and downs here. Maybe during the course of this conversation, as and when things comes up, I can definitely share that. So then during my time, there was no visibility for the permanent commission or the career furthering in the army. So I made a choice to do my management course from Nursing Munji, Bombay, and then got placed through campus with ICSL Lombard. The way army is my first ground as my career first thing. So similarly, ICICI Lombard has a very special place in my heart because of my first corporate job that I actually picked up after the army career. And I learned everything, dirtying my hands, on the ground there in ICS Lombard. Like, yes, we know what is recruitment, what is exits, what are employee life cycle, training, comp, everything. But the language, what we use in the armed forces vis-a-vis what we use in the corporate HR lingo, it's completely different. And the way we do, it's different. In army, people will follow rules. Here, you have to ensure people follow rules. It's not a easy task the way we do it in the army. So similarly, I had wonderful team members, wonderful bosses who actually taught me the nuances of HR, basic HR. And of course, after that, I learned over the period of the last 17 years. I have faltered, I have learned from my failures, I have fallen down, I have picked up myself, and I did learn a lot of things, and a lot of failures have taught me wonderful lessons. So I proudly say that I have learned better lessons after my failures. And people don't share the stories of failure. People only end up sharing success stories. It's also important to know the stories of failure, how you failed, and despite failing and falling down so much, you still pick up and sit where you are today, rising. It's There is a saying, right? You are rising from the ashes like a phoenix. So yeah, I truly believe that. Yeah. So this is a nutshell about me.
All right. Okay, so it sounds very great the way you have managed your career. You have been in army, and what you talk about are all fun parts, but I know that army life is not fun, right? So you face life and death situations. You face situations where your close friends and colleagues have not been able to survive an incident. You live to give your life. So that's a very unusual way of living, and that's one reason why we civilians, as you call us, we believe that we feel that honor for you. We feel honored when we are in your presence. We feel
Thank you.
um, you're welcome. We feel that it's something else that you go through. It's a psychological change in your lifestyle. That's not how people are, right? So what is it that makes you to really want to give your life for the country? What is it that makes you keep going when there are mishaps? Or rather, you don't call it mishaps, you call it combats, right? We call them mishaps.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, the first and foremost, at any point in time, country comes first and always first. There is no second thought about it. So as officers, when we get commission, we take an oath. In that we say, it's always every time your country comes first, your the people whom you command comes next, the welfare of the men comes next, and your family and everything else comes last. So if I have not taken an oath, if I don't know that I'm actually going for it, then there's no point. We all have chosen to wear the uniform, knowing that someday we go and, happily sacrifice our lives for the motherland. And I still stand by it. And that is what actually the metal, each and every armed forces person, whether it is an army, navy, or air force, is made up of. That is the metal they are made up of. For them, the country's honor, the battalion, and the vardi or the uniform that they're wearing, that always comes first. For that, they're ready to do anything, ready to, go extra mile to give up their life, give up everything. There is, you would have seen like 2021, 22. Recently, there was an encounter in JNK. One captain, young captain, who just, sacrificed his martyred. Okay. So knowingly he went there. Why do you think anyone go there? Because the love for the motherland and love for the nation. There is no second thought about it.
So, Pallavi, do you have children?
I do have 3 boys. My elder one is 20 and my younger ones are twins.
Okay. And what are the children doing?
My elder one is just entered college 3rd year and my younger ones are in the class 9th.
Okay. Any of them aspiring to go into army?
I really wish, I deeply wish that only one of them, join the defense forces. At the end of the day, it's their choice. So I keep giving my own nudge and put these ideas into them. So hopefully they pick up. Yeah.
Okay, get that. So, you didn't have children when you were working with army, or did you have your children when you were with them?
My elder one was born in the army when I was posted in Bangalore. Yeah. So my elder one was born in the command hospital Bangalore. From here I got posted when I just finished my maternity leave. He was just 5 months old. 5 months old. Then I received my posting order to Amritsar, and I took him and went to Amritsar. He was just a 5-month-old. Way back in 2004, train was the only easy way of commuting, the transportation for us. 2.5 days, a 5-month-old child, carrying him and going in the train is quite a task. But the moment I landed in the unit, I just realized the entire unit is in the exercise, which was in the borders of Punjab, which is bordering Pakistan. So, and I called up my commanding officer. He's retired brigadier, and oh wow, I learned so many things from him. So I'll come to that later. So the moment I said, sir, I'm still a nursing mom, like I really cannot leave my child. So before that, he said, if you want, you leave your child with my wife. My wife will, I had one young girl also from hometown. Leave both of them. My wife will take care. No worries. So I mean, army is a family. Okay. So then I said, sorry, sir, I cannot live because I'm still a nursing mom. I cannot leave him. You'll not believe. He just said, okay, get him. My child was there with me living in the tents in Gurdaspur border for about 15 days in the exercise. And every day in the afternoon or in the evening during lunchtime and at the dinner time, the baby used to come with me to the officers' mess. And all the officers used to play around with him. He was just 5.5, 6 months old. Yeah. So, and the amount of support I got from that moment, like, it's not possible in the corporate. It has its own set of challenges. Okay. So, and then my elder one grew up for about 3 years, till he turned 3, I was still in the army. And next year also, he had an exercise. Again, the second commanding officer also said, there was a new commanding officer. He said, no, Pallavi, just get him along. So in fact, my elder one has attended 2 exercise in the army.
Okay. All right. And this is like the Pakistan border.
Yeah, it is. Gurdaspur is just few kilometers from Pakistan. Gurdaspur is the border district in Punjab, right? So
Weren't you scared? Because there's always something happening at the border. So weren't you scared?
not that border,
Not that one.
not that border.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but in case of any operations or anything happens, that is also one of the border which actually can get heated up. Yeah.
Okay. But you never thought about it. Okay, so
No,
comparative.
now, no, no. Now, since you're telling me, I'm just thinking, Arey, wow, I never thought about it. कभी ख्याल ही नहीं आया, I'm telling. I
Okay.
used to take him and roam around in my jeep and gypsy to one place to another place. He was just, he just started learning how to walk also in the exercise. So
So
he was just
I
1.5 years when he attended this last time.
So I hear from my friends who have been in army that uh, in the border there is a lot of surveillance happening from both sides. So basically, the Pakistani army can actually see you guys, and you guys are seeing them. So in that situation, you were like traveling with a 5-month-old. That's something.
Now now I'm actually, it's now hitting me like, wow. सोचा ही नहीं था मैंने कभी ये.
Or
It was a call of a duty. I just said, I will not leave my child behind. But I'm just taking him and going. So I just took him and went. And fortunately, thanks to my commanding officer, he allowed my maid, the help that I had, a domestic help,
to be with
her
him.
also to come along. So
Yeah.
yeah, so daytime she used to be with him, and I used to go in between. My commanding officer said, "Your child is there. Just go meet him in between and come." So that was the uh, privilege that I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Okay. Nobody would have thought that army has this kind of situation on the borders too, where, children of the officers are also there with them. And these are risky places. And of late, it's become riskier. I guess back then, there wasn't so much disturbance also.
Yeah.
After the Pulwama incident happened and things just brewed up. So, and of course, Kashmir, even in those days, was beyond reach for us. Now it's better. So,
Yeah.
while we talk about the violence or the army kind of violence, women face a different form of violence within their society as well. And because of the time that we are having this interview with the incident in RG Car Hospital, I don't think we can proceed without talking about it. So I would I would like to know from you that, okay, this question will have you have to answer it in two parts. That So army is primarily a very macho organization by nature, because it's about your strengths and your physical strength, and the ability to give up your life. So how safe did you feel in a macho organization like army? And what do you think? Why do you think that within our social, within the less physically aggressive environment of our society, why is it that women are so unsafe?
If you are asking me a question of feeling safe and unsafe in the civil and the armed forces, today, after looking at these incidences in the last few years, whether it is RG car institute, the hospital's incident, or few days back, I saw some more incidents. Very
Yes.
unfortunate to hear that. I feel I was more safer when I was in the army, honestly speaking, because yes, see, every organization, whether it is corporate, whether it is army or defense, any place, there is the society still need to mature, Rajat. The way we were few years back to what we are today, there's a lot. The society has evolved. We have matured a lot. There's no dispute about it. But when I'm now, when I'm sitting here today, since you brought up this incident, which is very, very heart,
Wrenching.
wrenching. I can't even imagine the amount of things what has happened. I feel I was more safer in the army. At least I I could even go to the extent of escalating it to the higher ups if I'm facing an harassment, whether it is a mental level harassment or a sexual harassment. I had a mechanism to reach out to my higher ups. But here in the civil society, yes, it is there. But in a hospital, like where do you find the mechanism? Everything, the entire machinery is failed there. But I'll tell you, all said and done, at any point in time, I feel proud. The machineries, the mechanisms that has been there, set, tried, tested, and proved in the defense forces, that still runs. Whether it is not a person dependent, it is, we have a certain set SOPs that is followed. Okay, so I still have a voice to share there when I compare that to the civil world. But I mean, I have gone through my own shares of challenges when I just was newly commissioned. But I did have a way to reach out to my higher ups. I did go and complain. As a young officer, it's just, they say, they used to make fun of me. Juma, not even a 1 year of service, and you had the audacity of going and complaining to the higher ups. Yes, I did, and I must say this: it's not easy. You need to believe in what you are doing, and are you respecting your boundary? Are you respecting yourself, your self-esteem, and are you ready to take a stand for yourself, whether it is the defense or whether it is the corporate, whether it is wherever it is. Most importantly, are you ready to face the consequences by putting your foot down for the things that you believe in? And I did that, whether in the army, whether in the corporate. I've had my shares of, there are few things are confidential. I don't think I'm privy to share that. I did have my own share of ups and downs there. It was definitely not a rosy thing. As you say, I really would not want to only paint the picture bad or anything. I've had wonderful experiences, wonderful learning, and I've had wonderful managers, bosses as my mentors, and who have taught me lots of things of life when in the army. So it's not that bad. So that's the reason I would want to, yes, definitely there is a lot of safety is still there in the army. What do I say about the RG car incident? It's very unfortunate. And as a society, I keep telling this to everybody. We have been so focused on making our women, making our girls so independent, so empowered. We forgot to raise our boys, teach our boys how to handle such independent, empowered women. It's time that we focus on how to raise our boys to respect the other gender, respect the other person. And that is a need of the hour. I strongly say this, that's the need of the hour.
Very well said. And that too by a mother of three sons. It makes
Very
a
important. Very, very important.
and I see this movement coming from many enlightened mothers. And whenever I see that happening, so I think 15, 20 years ago, I was the one who used to keep saying that, we keep complaining about our lives, about how our husbands or whatever, they don't understand us, but they've not been taught. So why aren't mothers teaching that? And now I can see that
I
it
have
was
a
a feeling
point.
that
I have
even
a
mothers,
point.
even other women of my age were facing. Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I had to interrupt you. I have a difference of a different view in this. It's not only the responsibility of a mother to bring up a child, it is an equal responsibility of the father too. And how he treats his wife or sisters in the family that gets picked up by the child in the family. Children learn by seeing. Children emulate what their elders behave. So if, as a mother, if I am accepting nonsense, if I'm accepting somebody disrespecting me, and they will grow up, it's okay because my mom did that. What is wrong? Even my wife can do it. My girlfriend can do it.
Yes.
So they will learn by seeing. So it is important for every woman, especially I focus and tell this to women, please respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, nobody will respect you. Value yourself. Everything starts with self. Do you respect yourself enough? Do you value yourself enough? Do you have healthy boundaries for yourself? These are the most important thing. It's hygiene.
So, Pallavi, actually, we live in a world where women are wired not to respect themselves. And I come from a background where I was taught not to respect myself. I come from a background where I was taught that my brother can beat me. Yeah. And it was because I had good friends, because I was observant and I could see that the world was not working like how my family showed me it did, that I was able to retaliate. My family wasn't exactly like how I sound when I talk about it. I guess they were quite confused. They wanted to be modern, they wanted to be also compliant with the old system. They were very confused. And I guess that worked in my favor. But I know that the place where I was at one point of time, most girls would not have been as independent as I am. There were a lot of incidents that happened which caused it. But long story short, I think most girls don't get that opportunity to even know that they have the option to choose their boundaries.
I went through the same thing. Even though I said like my family supported, that didn't come easily for me. I had to fight it out, and I had to make them believe, ki, look, I am capable enough to do it. I had to prove myself first. Then they believed and they let me do what I wanted to do. And I'm the youngest of all the four siblings. I was the rebellious child in the family. So I was labeled. I had different labels when I was growing up. And around 12 years back, I must say this because it's important. I'm sorry. 12 years back, I took professional help when I was going through a lot of mental and emotional issues. I was almost on the verge of depression. And I say this in platforms like this so that people take it. It's okay to feel not okay. And it is okay to be like that. And it's okay
So
to seek help.
I'm going to ask you something else about this taking help, okay? Um, I'm not even worried about it's okay, but I want to know why you needed professional help, because that's more
That's what
important for
I'll
this
tell you.
this for our interview. That is more important because that is the conundrum which women are not able to solve.
12 years back, I was mother of three boys that point in time, and I was going through a lot, a lot. My younger ones were just 4 years old. Yeah, they were 3.5, 4 years old. If I show you my old photographs, you yourself can't believe it is me, and I myself can't, recognize those time. I had forgotten to take care of myself. I had forgotten who I was. I was like a machine, going to office and coming and taking care of the children. There was no rest mentally, emotionally, and physically. I was exhausted to the core. And I forgot to mention that I have been a topper and a gold medalist from Mysore University, and I've been an achiever.
Wow.
I was a brown belt in martial arts. I was an NCC under officer. I've been into theater. I've been into music, and I've been into so many things. But when I got married, again, I'm not saying marriage is good, bad. I'm just saying how we women end up, taking a back seat and focusing everything on everything else except on ourselves.
Ourselves.
So 12 years back, I was going through the same thing. Then I realized ki, where is me? The me, where is Pallavi? So I was going through quite a lot. So that is when I realized I was not able to do well in my career, and it is okay. And I proudly say that I'm an ambitious, career-oriented woman. Why can't women be, openly say it? Yes, I am aspirational, I'm ambitious, and I love to, grow in my career. It is okay. Okay. So I was in a confused state. Many people came and gave me free advice, literally free advice. So now see, you have 3 boys, you have 3 children. Your husband is already earning decently okay. So you can take a backseat. You can actually do one thing. You can take a 9 to 5 teaching job. As if teaching job is a very easy job. Honestly speaking, that's the most difficult job, if you ask me. The most toughest job on earth is the teaching job. Okay. So you will be able to go with your children and come back with them, and you take a break. Do everybody in the society, family around my social circle were giving me free advice, and I started doubting my own self. There is something wrong I'm doing. Like as a mother, my priority should be my children. My priority should be family. Forgetting that the family priority should be the father's responsibility also. But everything I took it on me, and I was in the verge of breaking down and depression. That is when I reached out to uh, professional help. It's been 12 years. The day I moved in to seek my help, I cried and cried and cried. I didn't know what to do. And few months later, I realized I got a lot of answers, a lot of clarity in my sessions. And I realized what is that I want to do and what is that I'm actually doing to myself. I allowed myself to be treated like a doormat. Okay. And there was no boundaries. And there was no me in the scenario. And I was not respecting myself. I was not caring for myself. All these things emerged. And then I also started doing my transaction analysis training. It's into psychotherapy, and transaction analysis is to do with human mind, all the different ego states that we have. Simultaneously, I started that. As in when I started about my own dwelling within my own self, I was there for the 7 years I was doing my TA journey.
Okay.
That is when I realized, wow, it's magical. So, what is that I was doing all these years? And I also made a decision to, move out of my marriage. Yes, due respects, we are co-parenting our children in our own space, because at the end of the day, we are still parents for our children. So it's perfectly okay. So what I most important thing in my therapy, in my professional help that I took was recognizing my own self-worth. I was not feeling that self-worth within me. I was not respecting. And I was all over the place, and people were all over me. And I was not able to even say no for things. I learned to say no when I have to say no. And I have a boundary, not only with others, with myself also. When there are certain things that are a no, it's a no. So, and around 5 years back, I started this journey of learning it for myself. I saw the magic. I jumped into myself, into learning this, and now I am a certified therapist. Also giving back to the community in my own little way to create this, awareness about mental and emotional wellness, how important it is. So I do that my bit. Uh, it is such a liberating thing when you have to just live for today, not thinking too much about tomorrow, not dwelling about the past. Past has happened. I can't go back and change anything in the past. Are you still reliving the regrets about thinking about the past, or are you at peace with your past and then moving ahead, looking forward about tomorrow, living fully today and looking forward for tomorrow to come? I mean, that is my mantra. So it was magical, and it is still magical. So I just want to tell one thing before I conclude this particular topic. it was like an onion peel for me. A big, not a small onion, it's a very big onion with a lot of layers. So when I started off, it was very difficult to take off the peel. Very difficult. Because it is all stuck to the root, right? So underneath, it had to be delicately, taken off. You can't cut with a knife. You can't cut it.
No.
It's onion peels are very delicate. When you keep every time I used to do a session, one layer used to go off. And let me tell you, therapy is not comfortable. You will go through a lot of churning. Only then the beauty, the core will come out. Yeah.
So this is for you, okay? And if you were near me, I would have given you a big hug because you've come a long way from then to now. And this is one thing that's happening to women. Women who have not been taught to create boundaries before they get married, they end up attracting relationships which are like what they saw as children. So once they start drawing those boundaries, the relationship doesn't work. And that is one of the reasons for so many divorces happening around us. And unfortunately, I'm really sorry for your divorce because, but then I can see the smile on your face when you talk about it. I mean, it has worked for you, and I know people in my own family for whom it has worked, and it's like either you or the marriage. When it comes to that choice, what else can you do? And it's a very sorry state. If we could bring up our girls to be always comfortable with themselves, they would not make such choices that would end up in that. What would you say about that?
You said one statement just now. Either it is marriage or you. You just said that statement. Somebody very closely. I just happened to attend a marriage today morning. One of my singles group friend. We have a singles group. Somebody, they found each other in the singles group, and it's a second marriage for both of them. And the girl's family, they happened to say, you already have a kid. Why should you? She's very young. Why should you be even thinking of another marriage? Your life should be revolving around your child. Your life is only that. That is your world. I
All
said,
right.
excuse me, don't say that. I don't want to sound feminist. We don't say that to a man.
We don't.
We only say that to a woman because for a woman, the moment she has a child, her life starts and ends with the child, and that's it. Technically, the lady ends up forgetting that I used to be a girl. The child in me is alive. The girl in me is alive. Everything takes a backseat. Everything is, put into a sack or thrown somewhere out. We forget. I will be happy and healthy and smiling and healthy physically, mentally, emotionally when I am loving myself, when I'm taking me as a priority. It is not selfish. Self-care and self-love is not selfish, I'm telling you. And I always give this, metaphor. When I have something in my plate, a thali filled with nice things, some laddus are there, some nice eateries. So if I really want to share something with you, I will share from that plate, which is nicely filled, nice thing. Okay? I'm sharing it because nice things are there with me. What if the plate is filled with sadness and nothing nice to eat? I will have to forcibly share that with you if I have to share.
Yes.
So the outcome, the outcome of this is whatever I have here, I will share only those things with people outside me, whether it is my children, whether it is my spouse, whether it is my family, whether it's my friends. So I need to make sure that I have the right ingredients within me. When I don't have the right ingredients within me, how can I even cook or bake something nicely and share it with people? So it's all about the ingredients that I have within me. So I tell this to, it's not only for women, I tell this to everybody, whether it is a man or a woman. Have the good ingredients within you. Then you will end up sharing a wonderful recipe or a wonderful dish with the people whom you really love.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, what has happened, Rajat, in the society, love has a very different, taken a different meaning. Love means it's only a romantic thing. No, love is how much I care for myself, how much I respect myself, how much I trust myself. All these things constitutes love. If I really love my children, which I do, I would actually take care of my mental and emotional health so that I am happy. And energetically, I am also sending those happy and loving signals to my children around me and people around me. If I'm unhappy and I'm sitting and grumbling, I'm sitting and talking to Rajat, he'll also pick up those energies, right? Would you like to sit and talk with me?
Exactly.
It's all about energy. Am I actually emitting the right kind of energy for you to, enjoy my company? Self-love and self-care is the thing. I have done that. I've been there. 10 years back, I never used to dress up for myself. I just used to just wear something. But now I do take care. What am I wearing? What am I,
Oh,
how
wow.
am I dressing? I dress up for me. It's very important that you do things for yourself.
Yes.
However, compliment, for example, Rajat may say something, oh, you're looking trash today. It's okay. That is your eyes. Like if you're really a good friend, if you're giving me a compliment, you'll give me or a feedback, you'll give me in the right way. Not saying that I'm looking like a trash. So
No,
it will be
I would
stupid on
never
my
say
part.
that, please.
No, I'm just as a figure of speech, I'm telling you. So if I end up believing, then I'll start getting into a self-doubt mode.
Mode, yeah.
So why even getting there? I know it's all about my self assurance, how confident I feel about myself. That's it. You can't please and you can't make everybody happy in the world.
So, Pallavi, I'll give you just 2 minutes for this question, okay?
Yeah.
Tell me a little about, you say that you were a rebel and that you are the only person among four siblings who actually graduated. So, what really are the factors that contributed to your growth?
Okay. I come from lower middle class family where my father was if you have known about KSRTC, all these KSRTC buses
Yes,
are there. My
yes.
father used to be a conductor in that thing in
Like Rajnikant,
Mysore.
by the way. Like Rajnikant.
Yes, 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 yeah. So my father was a conductor. So he lost job while being. So basically, I belong to a lower middle class family where I grew up. And my father used to be KSRTC bus conductor, as you rightly mentioned, like Rajnikant.
Like
And I was
Rajnikant.
the youngest of all siblings. And due to some issue, my father lost the job and he was fighting the case in the court.
Oh my.
And my elder sibling, that's especially my elder brother and my elder sister, they had to cut short their education, had to join for a job. They started working from the age of 18. And my third sister was still in school. And I was hardly, 7, 8 years. And I've seen life from a very close quarters, from the age of 7 and 8. And that day in Hindi, they say, no, ki jazba and junoon hona chahiye. Like I really wanted to do something for myself to uh, to prove it to me that I'm capable of doing something, and I really wanted to do that. And the most important thing what contributed for my whatever I am today is two things. One, I used to see a lot of doctors. I felt like they are the saviors of the world. I should become a doctor. So till I saw this serial Udan when I was in my eighth standard, that was my turning point. I must say this. That serial changed my life, the way I looked at things. Doctor, I took it and kept it aside. I said I will wear the uniform and I will become an IPS officer. Nothing less than that. So I worked towards it till I completed my graduation. I'm telling you, I never asked permission from my family. Ki, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I used to just make the decision and come back and tell. So I don't know how do I say, like, um, इतना हिम्मत कहाँ से था? I don't know. I just used to
I'm getting goosebumps
trust.
right now.
I am just, blindly trust my gut. I know I am doing the right thing, and that's it. I used to come back and tell my family in that way. They supported, even though initially they said, "Are you really sure you want to take arts after getting distinction in 10th?" And all, I said, "Nothing doing. I want to join karate. I was in martial arts. I want to do NCC. If I take science and all, it's a waste of
No
time. I
time.
will not be able to, do." So, and I used to go attend NCC camps. I did not have so much of money to travel around the country. NCC camp was one of the way that I could go and, visit all across the country.
Wow.
So, even I did not have money to buy costly books. So, I must say this. In Mysore, there are central libraries, there are university libraries, there are college libraries. I think I am one of those students. I don't know about others. Whatever I know, I would have known all the librarians in and around in Mysore, because I used to go befriend them, sit, take the references book, make notes of it. I used to request them because there was no money for me to buy books. And 100, 200, 500 was a big money then. So there is a saying, when you truly believe, when you truly want to do something in life, the entire universe conspires and works for you. And that's what happened for me. And I never thought I will get first rank to the university. I knew because my college is famous for getting at least 1 to 2 ranks every year for the university. I thought one among 10 mein ek to aa jayega. I was sure of it. The day I got like I am the topper to the university, gold medalist in psychology, like I just could not believe, because I never studied or worked towards it. I mean, now when I'm sharing this with you and I'm realizing it, and I really want to give this as a message to people. When you truly believe that you want to do something, just do it. Don't expect the outcome. When you are truly believing it sincerely and with honesty, the right thing will come searching you.
Wow.
So, believing in self, never giving up, and trusting the gut. Even today, I have failed. I'm not saying I did not fail. I have failed multiple times, and I have risen up, not giving up on myself.
Like you said.
So I say this, when a person like me with such a background that I come from, and I can do it, I feel anybody can do it. That's what I tell this to people. When I can do it, come on, yaar, everybody can do it.
Yes. So, I think we have discussed this a lot already, but a little bit about what do you think stops? So, you're a HR and you would understand that you would know a lot about women's progress in the company, and your own progress also, I'm sure, has seen things which relates to women's, you know, the glass ceiling and things like that. So,
Yes.
what do you think stops women from achieving the leadership success in their lives, or rather in their careers?
There are two things. We need to look this particular point, the question that you asked, from two different lenses. One is women as an individual, as a person. The other one is as a society. Let me talk first as a society. See, the society, what happens in the society? We expect the moment a woman gets married, and the career actually take a little bit. Wherever
Yes,
she is here, it takes little backseat. Okay?
yes,
Because the expectations of a daughter-in-law, wife, and juggling multiple things. And the moment she becomes a mother, everybody around the society, I think you should take a break. Let the child start, school. Till then, you should take a break. And I feel as a society, we need to have an ecosystem to help women to grow and do well in their career by giving this option of paternity leave, extend the paternity leave
yeah,
for the men folk, so that they also enjoy the parenthood. Let them also enjoy the fatherhood that they have become. So what happens? It's okay, no, husband is earning very well, two women can take a back seat. And I've had my own classmates, they are genius in my school. When in high school, I was not a great, I was barely passing decently in maths. I've had one classmate of mine, 100 out of 100 every year in maths, and she was an engineer. And the moment she had first child, within 1 year, she could not manage. She had a second child, she left the job. And she's a homemaker today. They were all very, very well academically. I'm nowhere. It's not that I want to compare. I'm just saying how excellent they were. They were doing very well in their career. The moment motherhood, you know, you get to jump into this ocean of motherhood, your
Things
career,
change.
your emotional health, your physical health, everything takes a backseat. Okay, still, if you're not taken a backseat and you are still working, I always worked. In between, of course, I've taken short breaks. You have to really juggle a lot in the corporate world. And the moment you take a, off, I have to go and attend my PTM. If we hire women, yeah, they keep taking off every now and then. The child is sick, sir. This is that. Why can't we be empathetic? Have a system which can support women, to grow in their career. Let's not be judgmental. And it's also, this is from the society and the ecosystem perspective. From a women perspective, the moment she becomes a mother, you know what, I don't have anybody to take care of my child, I'll have to, quit, they will say. Or they'll say, okay, it's okay, I take a small time job or a part-time job, and then I will not do it. After when they come back to the career, they're not confident enough to ask for things that they actually deserve for, because they feel the organization or the society is doing them a favor by allowing them to come back to the world. Okay, and this is a cultural conditioning. We as women, when we are growing up, we have been wired like that. अरे कोई तो organization ले रहा है, it means अरे as
At least you're getting it.
getting some salary for your pocket money. There is something, just pick it up, no? Instead of sitting at home, you just pick it up.
Yes,
Okay, this is one part.
very true.
Another part is, if you are coming back on maternity leave and you're completely always working full time, forget about everything, motherhood and all. You're not, for example, there are women who have never been married, who are doing very well. If there is a competition or a selection between a male colleague or
And a
woman,
female, yes.
what happened? We are again culturally so conditioned that I can't go and demand or ask what I deserve from my manager, because we are not wired like that. I don't feel comfortable asking assertively that the raise that I want, assertively the promotion that I want. Somewhere there has to be a mentoring and coaching for such women who are actually have high potential, not able to go, to the management or to the managers to ask assertively that I need this, I deserve this. Why? These are the things, it is self as well as the ecosystem. It's a combination of everything. And I must say, this particular one incident, in one of my organization, I was hiring I think finance controller or something to do with finance. And she was a young CA, and she was a first rank holder, by the way.
Okay.
Very well. Yeah, first rank holder. It was a second job. And she had just newly married and moved to Bangalore with her husband. And the interviewing panel, there was one, the Indian finance controller was sitting with me, and one expat who was the CFO was sitting. They said, no, me and the CFO were okay with the candidate. He was very bright, smart in every way. The other Indian finance controller had an objection. She said, no, I don't think she'll be able to manage the stress. I don't think she'll be able to. Then we asked why, what is the reason? No, she just newly married. After 6 months or 1 year, she may even think of starting a family. Then after she thinks of starting a family, 9 months, after that, she'll go on maternity leave.
Oof.
And then I don't think it's come. I said, come on, like you really want to, reject a candidate because she's planning to start a family? I mean, I'm telling you, this is the mindset. This is
This
again
is the mindset, yes.
change. I may not even want to have children. It's my
Yep.
choice. I may want to have a child, and my husband may decide to be a babysitter at home, and I will continue my career. Who are you to judge me just because I'm newly married that I'm going to have a child, and because of that you are not selecting me? That is so unethical.
It is. It is.
It is just one example I'm telling you. I've faced such incidents, and every time I put my foot down, because thankfully I've been in to some extent a decision making in the panel. Said nothing doing that definitely cannot be a reason for you to not to select a candidate. If the candidate is not talented, don't have the credentials or the skill set that we're looking for, you want to reject, absolutely go ahead. And the attitude, everything. But this is not a reason.
Yeah. I had an experience when I qualified my CA and went and interviewed in a CA firm. The partner told me that there's just one condition. We are taking you, but there's just one condition. For 2 years, you can't have babies.
And
I
what
was,
did you do?
I didn't join them. I never talked to that partner
Oh.
again. I mean,
I mean, so ridiculous. Do we say no? Do we say this to men actually? We don't.
we don't. I was
Because they are not the one
like,
who
is
go
this
through that
man
9 months thing.
nuts or what is he? Why is he peeping into my bedroom?
I'm shocked. I don't know what to say. One more similar incident happened. I was just a single mom just now then, and I had gone to give an interview, and I was interviewed by the last round of interviews happening with the CEO. So after hearing everything, he said, "You are a single mom, but the office is so far. So how do you think you'll be able to manage the child and everything? Because by the time you go back home, it is 8:39 in the night. How will you manage?" I said, "My children are quite independent. And I've brought them up in such a way that they will be able to manage. I'm sure of it. But do we ask such questions to men?" I said. Of course, I joined there and I worked. That's a different thing. But I did make a point. We don't ask such questions to men,
Yes.
because for men, they get up in the morning, get ready. Again, very few men do join hands in, for the morning chores and sending kids school and all. That percentage is very, very less. It's in single digits, Rajat. So they get up in the morning, get ready, and go to the office and go back in the evening. By then, the khana would be ready, everything. They are very nice dads for the children, because they are not the one who was, disciplining them or policing the children. Everything, nothing is at stake for them. Now, women do so much of multitasking, and in turn, that is when they actually get emotionally and mentally in a pretty bad state. I do see a lot of clients like that who go through a lot, who are caught in between aspiration, ambition, career, and motherhood, and they get caught in the guilt. I know. If this topic is a very touchy topic, so let me stop here.
This interview is all about it, so you're in the right place. So, yeah, and I see that the neighborhood plays a big role in making it tough for you at times.
Yes, I have gone through it again. Um, when I was still married, one of my classmates' mom walked up to me. I believe my elder son did some mischief or something. She almost indirectly or directly on my face. It's happened long, long ago. She made me feel so guilty and so bad, because that time I had not ventured into the self journey of therapy and everything. She said, "Oh, your son did this, blah, 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 blah." I mean, yeah, you should be knowing what is happening. If you are at office the whole day, how will you know all these things?
Oh
And
my.
she had quit the job and she was a full-time mom at home. And she said this to me, and that was the time I was actually already going through my, lows in my life. And she actually topped it up with some extra, ice and all, icing or whatever you want to say that. I had a, I had such a guilt trip. I said, "Oh my God, I'm really a bad mom. I should quit the job and be at home to take care of my children and ensure that they falls in line." And it's all dash dash is what I want to say. And children of working moms are much more independent, and they know, they have seen their mom working, and tomorrow when they have a girlfriend or when they get married, they will not be expecting that everything is done by the wife. And I make sure that all my three children know the basic of cooking, and cooking is a life skill. It is it is not anything to do with gender. And I echo this and I strongly say this.
That's true. So, my next question is, what advice would you give to women who are listening to us today?
Dream big, and believe in your dreams.
Yes.
And it's okay to be ambitious. It's perfectly okay to look up. Yes, that is my next position that I want to. It's okay. And never give up on yourself. And and be a continuous learner, and take things with an open mind, and seek help when you really need it, and go for the right coaches who can coach you, go for the people who can mentor you in your life, both whatever your passion that you want to follow.
Wow,
Just
that's a great thing you mentioned, go for the right coach and right people, because usually what we do is we go back to either our parents or our neighbors or our friends, but these are people who are coming from the same background as ourselves. So they are going to
yeah,
tell us exactly what we already know. And most of the
absolutely.
time, what happens is we've already seen that what we already know is not working. But the society doesn't allow you to, I mean, doesn't, or rather, our education system doesn't teach us to find solutions to our problem. It actually teaches us to just keep memorizing and mugging. And that's
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that is when people, like me, like I'm a certified coach. I'm an ICF certified coach. I'm also a therapist. And I've mentored a lot of young women in my last organization. And whenever they have an issue, they call me and they ask me, कि मैम ऐसा हो रहा है क्या करूं? Like, and it's not only about the official stuff. They call me and ask, look, my family has searched a boy for me. I'm not joking. This actually happened. They boy for me, and I've talked to a boy. What do you think are the qualities that I need to look
wow,
for in a guy?
such a nice
They
question
ask,
to ask.
yeah, what do you think? Because ma'am, like हमने आपसे सीखा है, तो आप बताइए कि क्या क्या होना चाहिए. What do you think? So these are the questions they ask, and it is important to build the ecosystem, women supporting women, and it is
Yes.
important.
Yes.
It's women standing for each other, women supporting each other in an ecosystem. It can do wonders, Rajat.
Yes. So, before I ask my next question, we are going to tell everyone, please like, subscribe, and share if you like this interview. And we are doing a lot of hard work here to encourage other women to be successful. And men who are watching this, please share it with your women friends and your girls in your family. Yes, Pallavi has to add to that.
I missed adding most important thing. You said me, what is that advice that you want to share to women?
Yes, yes.
Most important is financial independence,
Oh my.
empowering
Yes,
financially yourself. And I
yes.
want to tell how much do you know about finances? How much do you know about stock market? How much do you know about investments? Do you actually take health insurance for yourself, or is it husband has decided he has added my name? I mean, I don't know what it is. My dad takes care of it, and my husband takes care of it. My brother knows it because this and all, I'm not aware. Car also, my brother is very good in, vehicles. So, I mean, he takes care of it. So I decide my own vehicle that I want. Of course, I take inputs from people, but I make a decision. Health insurance, I did my own self. I've invested in property, I did my own self. So I'm asking, like, how much do we all do that?
Very,
It's again,
very good point, because that's also the topic of my research. So, it's being noticed these days that women who are independent, financially independent, they actually are not independent to take decision about their own money. There are instances where women who are like, CEOs or CFOs, they can't spend their own money. I have friends.
absolutely.
I have
I
friends
know.
who cannot spend their own money on buying something because their husbands won't allow. So there's a lot of talk about this, and if women are not sensitized about it, then they will never ever realize that the money that they work so hard for is theirs, and
Yeah,
they can make
absolutely.
mistakes with it. So,
It's okay. You'll make When you make mistakes, only then you learn.
yeah. And when I started taking decisions about my finance, that's when I realized how empowering it is to be independent in this world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do
So,
invest in stock market. I've learned it over the last 3 years. Okay, this was a bad decision. It's okay. अगले बार
yeah.
नहीं करेंगे.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
Yes. A lot of women are afraid that if they lose money in the market, then, the family members will say, "Why didn't you ask me?" But are their family members going to also disclose how many mistakes they have made? Never.
I have my male friends and my nephews and everybody. They call and ask me, Auntie, which is the right stock for today? Can you just tell? I said I'll check and tell you tomorrow. So I do that.
Great, great. Yes. So this is the real independence. It doesn't matter how much you earn, but whatever you earn, if you can invest in or spend based on
Yeah,
your choices, then you are independent. And that's a very good
very
point you
true.
brought up. So that's a very good suggestion you're giving, Pallavi, um, and the kind of work you are doing is so amazing. I mean, the whole process of empowering women. It's going to take many, many, many women like you and me to do it. I'm also a
Absolutely.
trainer and coach. I have written my book, which I've written, Women Beware of the Freaking Plot Hole, is actually based around my research on women. My research subject is the financial independence of financially independent women, by the way. Women
Oh
who
my
are
God, such a irony, the topic.
so, as trainers and as coaches, we are all doing our best to make that difference, and that's very heartening. So, my last question to you is that what are your plans for the future?
Most importantly, my target audience, it's a combination of women, young adults. Uh, I would want to create awareness about the importance of mental and emotional wellness. That's the most important thing. And also, through my own experience of meeting a lot of clients, I've realized how parents, when they become parents, when they are not healed themselves, their own child stuff, they end up passing on those things to their children, and it's a continuous cycle. It's like a generational thing.
Cycle.
So I've realized it in the last especially in the last few months, um, that it is important to break the cycle. So there's a lot of background work is still going on to meet the educational institutions or the people who are educators, see how I can create, sensitize these people in healing themselves first, before they become parents, or before even they get into another relationship, heal from everything and then get into a relationship. And for teachers, how they can be mindful when they have two children who are completely unique, that you cannot compare them. Now, each child is unique. I myself has faced that. See how that child is doing very well. What is your problem? When that child is able to do it, why can't you do it? Because that child is fish and I'm an elephant. Or I'm a monkey, that child is a fish. You are expecting a fish to do a monkey's job and a monkey's to do a fish's job. As a child, as a teacher, they play a very important role. After home, it's the school which shapes the mind of the people, the young child. So, and that's what it is still,
In the process?
in the process. Yeah, I really want to do that ultimately. That's my goal.
And you will do it.
Yes, thank you. I need support, encouragement from people like you.
Good luck to you in your endeavor and keep making the difference, Pallavi. It was great talking to you.
Thank you
I
so
think,
much.
yeah, besides the 5 questions that I ask every person in this interview, every person brings her own uniqueness into this interview, and it goes into varied directions, and it's always so inspiring to hear from other women what they have gone through and how they shaped their lives with it, because if something doesn't break you, then it makes you, and you are an
Yeah,
example of that.
absolutely.
You're an
Thank you so
example
much.
of that.
Thank
And
you.
I have myself experienced that, and I think we are learning as women to see such women and find them and seek them, because I found you on LinkedIn just like that, right? We've never met.
Yeah,
So I guess we attracted each other,
yeah.
and to a great friendship. Okay.
Thank you.
For being my guest today, and it was great talking to you. And good
And
luck
it was
to
my pleasure and honor to
you.
share my journey. And if I'm able to, make a difference to even even few number of women, I'll be, my objective is achieved. I feel honored. Yeah.
Great thought. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.